The film begins with a pregnant woman telling her unborn child that the father has departed for good, and they will start a new life together. We are then taken to the past where Rebecca, a young girl, is changing her clothes after swimming on the beach. Tommy, a young boy, walks towards her but doesn't say anything. One day, when it's raining, Tommy approaches Rebecca and introduces himself. He then runs to the beach along with his friends. Tommy and Rebecca become friends and spend most of their time together. They get very close and hang out together all day. They swear each other eternal love as they feel attracted to each other. But one day, Rebecca tells Tommy that she is leaving for Japan the next day. To make their last moments memorable, Tommy tells Rebecca that he has a surprise for her and will meet her at the ferry. But Tommy doesn't show up in time and Rebecca leaves disappointed. 12 years pass by, and Rebecca returns as a young woman to find Tommy. She learns through his mother that Tommy lives near the harbor. When she enters the house, she sees a woman there, lying on the bed. Tommy arrives shortly and immediately recognizes Rebecca. They catch up with each other and talk about what they did all these years. The woman, who doesn't understand what they are talking about, leaves. Rebecca feels uncomfortable meeting Tommy after such a long time and leaves as well. Later, they go to the beach together. When Rebecca asks Tommy whether the woman is her girlfriend, Tommy denies, saying that he only met her yesterday. He then gets naked in front of Rebecca and runs to the sea. While having dinner, Rebecca asks Tommy what he wanted to give her before she left for Japan. Tommy hands her a matchbox with a snail inside, saying that he took care of it for almost a year, until it died. Rebecca is happy to learn that Tommy still cares deeply for her. They kiss each other and start a new relationship together. Rebecca learns that Tommy is a political activist who is fighting against the biotech corporations, who plans to open a new natural park populated by animals artificially created by cloning. Tommy plans to spoil the inauguration ceremony by letting loose rucksacks filled with cockroaches. Rebecca, who herself is a computer programmer of leak detection sonar software for underground storage containers, insists on accompanying Tommy. While driving to the site of the new natural park through a lonely wilderness, Rebecca asks Tommy to stop the car so that she can relieve herself at the side of the road. Meanwhile, Tommy too gets out of the car, but is hit by a passing vehicle and dies instantly. Rebecca, who is traumatized by this, gets inside the car, unable to process what just happened. She came from Japan to meet Tommy after 12 years, but her love story ended before it even started. Rebecca and Tommy's parents are stricken with grief. After having a funeral for Tommy, Rebecca invites Tommy's parents to her house and tells them that Tommy can be brought back to life by cloning him. She offers to be impregnated using Tommy's DNA. But Tommy's mother objects, saying that she accepts the law of nature and will never agree to this. But Tommy's father agrees to give Rebecca Tommy's cell material. He tells her she can live near the sea as Tommy loved it, but they will be leaving soon, hoping to move on. He urges Rebecca to think through her decision carefully before proceeding. Rebecca, however, is determined to bring back Tommy and continues with her plan. She conceives Tommy's clone in her womb. While pregnant, she visits the original Tommy's grave with his clone and cannot wait for him to be with her again. She gives birth to Tommy by undergoing a C-section. Rebecca raises Tommy as her son and takes care of him. The two form a close relationship and mostly stay by themselves. While walking back home, Rebecca and Tommy meet a neighborhood girl who is also a clone. Rebecca invites her for dinner, but the girl refuses. Tommy and his friend observe the girl and try to determine if she has a copy smell since she is a clone. The neighborhood mothers display prejudice against the clones and ask Rebecca to not let Tommy associate with the clones. They believe that cloning your family members or loved ones is incest and should be forbidden. Rebecca is horrified by this and agrees to their demands so that Tommy too is not isolated from others. But eventually, Rumors about Tommy being a clone spread, and Tommy is forced to celebrate his birthday alone with his mother as all his friends are being barred from attending the party by their mothers. Tommy doesn't understand why his friends are not coming, as he doesn't know that he is a clone. To protect Tommy from others, Rebecca moves to a more remote location with Tommy. Just like the original Tommy, Kid Tommy also likes the sea and spends most of his time there. He is completely alone now with no friends to play with. Tommy begins to ask questions about his father, wanting to know how his father died. Rebecca tells him that his father died in an accident, but doesn't reveal his true identity. The more time they are spending together, the closer they are getting. Tommy has made a new friend and hangs out with him. While playing with his friend, Tommy buries the Pleo, which his mother gave him for his birthday. Rebecca finds out about it and gives him back the Pleo, which is now no longer working. Time passes by and Tommy has grown as old as his original was when he died. He also manifests certain personality traits and interests of the original Tommy, like his interests in biology. Tommy brought Monica, his girlfriend, over to the house. Rebecca is not happy about it and feels jealous. Tommy tells Rebecca that Monica will be living with them for some time. Monica and Tommy spend most of their time together, leaving Rebecca alone. One day, when Tommy is sleeping alone, Rebecca slides into the bed and sleeps with him. Tommy thinks it's Monica and starts touching her. But as soon as he realizes it is his mother, he gets up. Monica arrives shortly and gets intimate in front of Rebecca. Rebecca pretends to be sleeping and watches them from below the sheet. While playing outside, Tommy gets inside Rebecca's shirt, turning the situation awkward. Monica feels uncomfortable and gets inside the house. Both Tommy and Rebecca are confused as there is sexual tension between them, but neither of them speaks a word. At night, Tommy and Monica are getting intimate in their room and Rebecca is listening to them. Monica tries to talk with Rebecca, but Rebecca isn't interested as she feels Monica is stealing Tommy from her. The next day, the original Tommy's mother arrives unexpectedly and is stunned after looking at Tommy. She stares at Tommy silently but doesn't say anything and leaves. Tommy, who never met her in his life, feels that he knows the stranger. Later that night, Tommy confronts his mother and asks about the stranger. But Rebecca ignores his question. Tommy is frustrated with Rebecca's lack of explanation and acts aggressively. Tommy tells Rebecca that he somehow knows the stranger and will find out who she was. Feeling ignored by Tommy, Monica leaves. Tommy cannot take it anymore and demands answers from Rebecca. After a lot of hesitation, Rebecca finally decides to tell him the truth and tells him about the original Tommy and that he is a clone. Rebecca gives him the original Tommy's old laptop, which has pictures of himself and his real mother and father. Tommy is completely shocked by this revelation and is very confused about the situation. Out of confusion and sexual tension, Tommy gets intimate with Rebecca. Rebecca is finally happy as she got what she wanted. But her happiness is short-lived as the next day, Tommy packs his things and prepares to leave. He thanks Rebecca for the life he's had. He calls her by her name and not as mom and leaves.